Good morning and welcome back to our series on the laws of leadership. This is law session number 10, and today we're going to look at two different laws again as per usual, the law of the bad apple and the law of victory. And for us as leaders, we're living in very challenging times, and it's asked of us to really to make a difference, to think outside of the box. We have a new normal, a new way of doing things post-COVID, and I've released a few months ago a book on leadership, on the derailed leadership as a collision course of COVID-19. And COVID-19 has exposed quite a few things in us as leaders, in organizations, in businesses and departments on how we do things. It was a good way to evaluate what we have done right, what we have missed out on, and what we need to do to change it. So I would strongly recommend you to invest in that book. It's not a very thick book, but it's a book that will help you. The first part of the book talks about COVID-19 and the problem areas we've seen in COVID-19, and the latter part of the book gives us some advice on how to fix this derailed leadership. But that being said, you're welcome to follow all the teachings on leadership on my Facebook page, get all the videos, or please subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. All my leadership material is on the YouTube channel, and you are more than welcome to use the material that's available on YouTube or on Facebook in your leadership training sessions in your own department, or you can connect with me if you want me to come and do personal training at your department, and we can tailor make a program according to your needs, your wants. I've been involved in leadership training since 2002 under Dr. John C. Maxwell. I'm a master coach for him, and I've traveled to more than 22 countries in the past 7 years, and we've trained I think it's about 24,000 people already with this leadership material, plus my own material as well. So I really have a passion to see organizations change, transformed and renewed. I also act as a leadership coach or a life coach for CEOs and companies and other leaders, and help them with their transitions, help them with conflict resolutions, training and so forth on a regular basis, Monday to Friday. So I'm also available if you are in need of such a service. But let us go to the law of the bad apple. What is a bad apple? A bad apple are the people who don't do their fair share in the workplace. They just float in and out, make use of every possible minute of tea time, lunchtime, tea time, sick leave, vacation leave. They are the people that are grumpy and negative and super critical. They are chronically unhappy, emotionally unstable, and they bully and attack staff members. You're most probably lucky if you don't have any one of them in your organization, but my experience is we all have a bad apple in our department that has got a negative influence on the staff. They create an atmosphere of negativity. Even if you bring a solution to the table, they will find a problem for that solution. So in this session is exactly that. The bad apple is about an attitude. Now, what is an attitude? It's an outward projection of how one feels inside. It's our best friend, and it can also be our worst enemy. That is our attitude. Its roots are inward. This is what's happening inside. That's the roots. We only see the fruit of the negative root, and we want to address the fruit instead of addressing the root. We want to fix the outward attitude instead of changing the inward source of that attitude. Fix the problem inwardly, and the fruit shall deal with itself. It grows within us and is not hidden from other people. We think we can hide this. The true reason why I am critical, why I am cynical, why I am negative, everybody sees it. We cannot hide that thing. What we think, only us can see. It's never contained until it's expressed. They will sit in a meeting and they will wait for an opportunity just to air their negativity. They are the people that when you walk into a meeting and you see them present, you feel, oh my goodness, this is that again. And you know it's going to be a tough meeting with that negative person in that meeting, because they will wait. They will pounce on every opportunity to express their negativity, to express their bad attitude. It's more honest and consistent than their words. They just do whatever they like. They might say something positive from now and then, but their actions never speak of positivity. And it draws people to you. Your attitude can draw people to you, or it can repel people from you. That's all about attitude. Now, here are a few attitude realities. Your attitude is a choice. Come on. You can choose to have a positive or a negative attitude. Make a decision today. I will change my attitude. Attitudes have the power to lift you up. It has got the power to lift the team up or to tear the team down. And later in this session, I will also tell you what to do with this bad apple. An attitude compounds when it is exposed to other people. The bad apples always look for a platform. They want to use every platform to try to convince them that their attitude is actually a rightful opinion, even though they will impact the whole organization negatively. Bad attitudes multiply faster than good ones. It is so interesting. When you teach a person a new language, it's interesting, you learn quickly how to greet, and the things you pick up much quicker than the good words are the bad words, the swear words. It is as if those things just stick to your mindset, and the same way in a bad attitude. And most bad attitudes are the result of selfishness. It's about me, how I feel, how I want things to be done, and if it's not done the way I want it to be done, I will shoot everybody else down to try to convince them my attitude is actually a rightful attitude. A rotten attitude, if ignored, will destroy your whole team. Now, what is a rotten attitude? The inability to admit your own wrongdoings. A bad apple will never acknowledge they've got a bad attitude, that they are wrong, they're always right, and everybody else is always wrong. They can't see any good in any situation. A good leader with the right attitude will see the problem, acknowledge the problem, and find a solution. A person with a bad attitude will see the problem, expose the problem, and then magnify the problem with no solutions brought to the table. So in this bad, rotten attitude, jealousy is always part of your life. You always look at those that are successful and try to tell yourself and others that person has achieved that position of favor unworthily. They will try to badmouth a person. They will tell them, yeah, but you are the blue-eyed boy. And not acknowledging their hard work. A rotten attitude is about selfishness. Your desire to take all the credit and give away all the reasons, every reason for a wrong result will always be given to others. You will never acknowledge your own role that you've played as part and parcel of the problem. You're always critical of other people's performance. Talk negatively about your organization, your teammates, your coaches, your mentors, whatever title you use. A bad apple will always discredit everybody else. Now, what are the seeds of the bad apples? The rotten attitudes, bitterness. There's somewhere, somehow, they've got hurt. Rightfully, or without any of their own doing, and they got hurt by management. So they will always have a bad attitude of management. Even if they are in a managerial position, they always look up and badmouth the one above them. They will try to tear them down so that they can move up the ladder into that position. But what people forget in this bad attitude, this rotten attitude, if you break the steps of the ladder, you will get stuck in a position that will weaken the ladder eventually, because if you take the steps out of a ladder, the ladder will break and it will fall down. So you might be able to badmouth people for your own promotion, but your attitude will bring you down. It's going to destroy your own position. There's a strong sense of deception. A person with a rotten attitude is deceived. Life isn't as cynical as you make it out to be. We're living in a country that people are very cynical and very critical and very negative. But not everything is as bad as we say. Yes, we have many bad things, but there's always a positive outlook. If South Africa is such a bad country to be in, why are the people flocking to South Africa if it's such a bad place to stay in? If it's such a bad place, people won't come here. We won't have illegal aliens, illegal foreigners in our country. There won't be an influx of people to our nation if it's such a bad place. It's a bad place because of our perception, because of our attitude. Another seed of a rotten attitude is self-promotion. You can't wait to be promoted. You can't wait to be acknowledged of your hard work. You want to push your own agenda. And through pushing your own agenda, you create an attitude of insubordination, rebellion. And if you read your Bible correctly, you'll see rebellion is witchcraft. It's a sin of divination. You are busy with the wrong things in life. It's like drinking poison and hoping somebody else is going to die. You are deceived in that. And there's a strong sense of manipulation. We will try to bring people over to my opinion through manipulation. And if you don't want to follow, I'm going to badmouth you. Then you are part. They will tell you are part of the problem. Meanwhile, they are the problem. A rotten attitude will destroy your team, teamwork, and the individuals in the team and on the team. So be careful when you've identified that rotten attitude, that rotten apple. Deal with it. And if you I will give you a little table with attitudes, with abilities, attitudes, and the results. Great talent with a rotten attitude is a bad team. So the people, the rotten apples are not necessarily badly skilled. They might have the best and the greatest skills, a great talent, but a bad attitude is an average team. But a great talent with an average attitude is a good team. But a great talent with a good attitude makes an excellent team. And we must strive towards that place, to change the attitudes of the team members so that the team will benefit with good attitude. So my good advice to you today on the bad apple: your attitude is not determined by your circumstances. Do you hear me? Your attitude is not determined by your circumstances, even though we blame circumstances for a bad attitude. No, an attitude is an inside job. It's what I choose to believe. It's what I choose to say. It's what I choose to be. My attitude can be improved as I discover thankfulness, appreciation, contentment. I'm not saying complacency, contentment. Complacency is the grave where lack of achievers are dying in. Complacency is the place where we dig the hole and climb into it by ourselves. And then we blame the system, we blame the management, we blame the organization, we blame everybody else for where I am at. I am in the hole of darkness and deception. I'm deceiving myself to blame others for my position. And my attitude can stay positive because of who I am. And that is a rare thing, to have a positive attitude in a bad situation. But how can I fix this? And this is the last portion of the bad apple. How can I fix this? Focus on the ultimate. Don't become the slave of the immediate. If you become the slave of the immediate, you will lose the vision of tomorrow. You will not be able to see the good in anything if you can't see the good in the future. Isolate the bad apple. Take the bad apple out of the team. Work with the bad apple on a separate platform. Don't give that bad apple a platform. A team is a platform. Isolate him from the team. Work on his attitude, and then you can bring him back into the team. Meet this bad apple. Meet him individually. Don't confront this person in front of the team or in public, because that is again a platform. Make an appointment with them. Say, come and talk to me afterwards. Then I will address all your problems. I will speak to you. And if the problem still exists afterwards, document the behavior and their attitudes carefully. Because when you talk to this person individually and you don't have your facts on the table, they will just play the situation for their own benefit. Tell your bad apple about the bad attitude. Tell that person that that attitude is destroying the team and themselves. And give them something to go on. Give them hope. And this is what I call the hamburger approach, where we have to act. We all love a hamburger. But the hamburger is not about the two pieces of bread. It's about the patty, the meat in the inside. And if you take a hamburger, the bread, the patty and the bread, and you allocate a letter to each of them, the top patty or top bun, you say A. And the A stands for acknowledge them. Acknowledge their gifting, acknowledge their talents, acknowledge their work. And then the patty part, the meat part, is a C. Now we come with correction, not criticism, correction. Because criticism is negative. Corrective behavior, corrective input, address the negative behavior, but in a way that you acknowledge. Remember the A, that you acknowledge who they are. And you tell them, with the bottom part of the hamburger, the T, is to transcend them. To tell them, if you just change this, if you make this little adjustment in your behavior, you will transcend from a negative place to a positive place. From a place where you are in a hole to a place on the high ground. So whenever you speak to this person one-on-one, remember the hamburger. Acknowledge, correct, and transcend. And then they will leave your office changed and transformed. And that is the law of the bad apple. My prayer for you today, if I can call that you will have wisdom in handling this situation, to address this situation. Don't ignore it. Don't hope that it will go away. It will not go away. It will just grow stronger and stronger. Address the elephant in the room. Don't think to paint it and you will blend into the walls that you've resolved that bad apple. No, you have just cloaked them, and you will not be able to resolve the issues in the team until you've removed the bad apple. So the second law I want to touch on this morning very briefly is the law of victory. True leaders aspire to victory. So much so that they don't even bother with the plan B, because they know plan A will work. They believe in the vision. They believe in the strategy. They believe in the mission. They believe in the team. And they have so much passion and energy. Whenever they talk to people, people are rejuvenated, excited. They will say, I want what he's got. If he can believe so much in it, how much more can I? If you as a leader are not passionate about your victory, you're actually passionate about defeat, then your team will embrace your same passion, victory or defeat. A leader must play to win. View victories as their only option. Defeat is not an option. Remember, to make a mistake is not defeat. You're only defeated if you do not learn from your mistake. So if you are driving forward with all the passion and energy, be sure you will make mistakes here and there on route to destiny. But don't see that as failures. See that as a learning curve. The school of hard knocks. Learn from it. But keep the victory in mind. Great leaders will find a way for the team to win. Find a way. Even if it's a small little victory, that's fine. It's good to have a 10-year plan. It's good to have a 1-year plan. It's good to have a 3 months plan. But it's also good to have a short-term plan of 1 month or 2 months, so that people can achieve a goal. And there's nothing that motivates you more than a certificate to show your achievement. So victory has 4 components. The first component of victory is a vision. You cannot be victorious if you do not have a goal. How will you know you've reached the goal if you do not have a goal? You will keep on running in this rat race, all around and all around and all around, not achieving anything but remain a rat. So have a vision, a unified vision. So what you see, the team sees. What the team sees, you see. That will place you in the same playing fields with the same rules. And you know we are going forward. And they know where we are going. And once the team knows where they are going, they will run with you because they believe in the vision. But there must be, number 2, a diversity of skills. If there are 2 of the similar people on the team, one is redundant. Have your team consisting of various skills. Through that, you will starve your weakness. You will give another perspective on the vision. And when everybody agrees, nobody is thinking. And I'm borrowing this statement from a pastor that mentored me many, many years ago. We said, when you don't ask me a question, it means you're not believing what I'm saying. You're not thinking. A leader must be dedicated, number 3, to victory. What is dedication? It means I'm willing to sacrifice for where I am going, for what I want to achieve. You cannot achieve good results in your exams if you don't prepare for the exams. Many people want to pray for good results, but they don't want to prepare. And number 4, a leader committed to raising people to achieve their maximum potential. That is your reward, not your salary. You can get another job for the same money or even more. But to stand back and to see how people are winning, that is your reward. That is your addictive drug, if I can call it like that. Something that you cannot exist without. So winning is an inside job. The same as attitude, that's an inside job. Winning is also an inside job. Yes, it's manifested on the other side. So consider this. If you want to remain on the winning team, always have a teachable spirit. Never come to a place where you say, I know it all. You can't teach me anything. We can learn something even from the least expected person. A few weeks ago, one of our young people in church said something profound, and I really appreciate it, and I've learned from this. It says, the measure of your faith is not the volume, but the longevity. How long can you last in your faith? And I've embraced that. I will acknowledge him, but that is to be teachable. Never come to a place where you think, I know it all. Then you don't need a team. Overcome your obstacles. Overcome your past. Don't get stuck in your past. The past is not the author of your destiny. It's merely the librarian of your life. Learn what you can learn. Throw away that's not needed. Bring forward from your past, which was good, that you can use again. And be willing to pay a personal price for success. What sacrifices are we willing to make? When I was writing my first doctorate and my dissertation, I will sit there many hours at night when everybody else is sleeping, writing, doing research, compiling the dissertation. When I did my second doctorate, same thing applies. But the difference is it just becomes easier the second time around, because you know what is required. You've been tested on the unknown. And recognize the key to victory is attitude. Retain a personal commitment to victory. Don't back off. Helping others break through to victory. How do I do this? Understand the law of timing. There's a time and a season for everything. Sometimes you work hard without any fruit, and then suddenly one day you step into promotion. You step into elevation. You step into a breakthrough. And we have seen that in our own capacities. You do the same things over and over and over. You do the right things over and over and over. And then suddenly, it just happened. Breakthrough came. Overnight success. But there were years, months of preparation, of dedication. It is your time. As the Sesotho word says, kenako, it means it's time. Seek for the breakthroughs for your team. Model your breakthroughs, living with these qualities. Be vulnerable. Your team knows you're not perfect. Don't try to be Mr. or Mrs. Perfect. Walk in humility. Walk in absolute transparency. Show them that you are no demigod. That you are a person just like us. Own issues, own battles. Remember, your time will come. There's a time and a season for everything. And take your breakthroughs that you have achieved, bring it to the team. Help the team achieve their successes as well. Remember, the key for this law is that victory is preceded by breakthroughs in the life of the leader. You can never achieve public breakthroughs if you have never achieved a personal breakthrough. How will you then handle breakthroughs if you have not been part of the culture of breakthroughs? Victory is possible despite of an impossible situation. It reminds me of this shoe company that is producing shoes. Sent a shoe salesman to an island to establish an outpost there for their shoes. He sends a note back after a few weeks. Please come and fetch me. Nobody wears shoes on this island. So there's no hope of sales here. So please come and fetch me, come and get the stock. And a few months later, I sent another salesman to the same island. He says, whoa, send me a lot of stock. I need a lot of shoes because nobody are wearing shoes. It's about an attitude. So a leader's first victory, your first victory is over yourself. And that you export. Don't teach something that you don't live. People get confused when you speak something and you live another. You talk about punctuality, excellence, and all these nice things, and you arrive late. You leave early. And you are never doing your best. People's victory will follow a leader's victory. So lastly, I want to close with this. Victorious leaders are always adding good people to the team. They are constantly looking for team members to enlarge their capacity. Good leaders are always lifting the morale of the team. You can't achieve greatness on a negative attitude. And lastly, a good leader will always find the resources for the team, even if you have to make a sacrifice personally. I know of people who have started businesses, started churches by selling their own stuff to generate finances, to fund their dream. So these were the two laws that I've discussed today, the law of the bad apple and the law of victory. Practice these laws. Write them all down and say, this one I do, this one I do, this one I don't do, this one I must work at, or this one must wait a little bit. But take a law that you don't practice. Make it part of who you are. And you shall be successful in the days to come. Thank you for joining me, and I think I've got 3 more lessons that I'm done with this series. So get hold of the series on my Facebook page or on my YouTube channel. Thank you for taking the time, being here and watching this video. Thank you.